Man, that's a big question. So I guess over the course of my entire career, like last 20 years, it used to be that if you wanted to start a distribution business, you go get some space, you throw some people at it, buy a couple forklifts, and you're operating, you're up and going. I think as space and labor have become more and more cost impacted, people have had to figure out ways to be more efficient. And so developers start building buildings that are taller. And people have really figured out that when they maximize cubic capacity instead of square footage, there's a positive impact to the P&L. And so over the course of the last 15 years, we've only seen that amplify and get more and more, I think, strategic from a business operator standpoint or point of view, where now we're seeing that operators are really focused before they take a building, before they even really start to operate a business. They're really focused on what can I actually accomplish with that particular building, and asking us as professionals and experts to weigh in on decisions to buy that building or to lease that space. And then how many people do we actually throw at that particular operation, and where can we sort of trim both those two factors, the square footage that we're going to dedicate to an operation and the amount of labor resources that we're going to dedicate to it. And where we've been able to be helpful in that is running cubic analysis on operations and helping people understand how much square footage they can actually trim out of their overall network if they were able to maximize the cubic volume of their building. So to answer your question, it's grown more and more from a very rudimentary type, we used to call them box jockeys, right? Where they would, you're really just moving boxes all day, every day, to people they're starting to put some really deep thought into how they can make the math work for them in terms of space and people. And we've had to develop with them all along the way and develop our expertise so that we can lend some assistance in those two conversations to ultimately help the customer. Because if we can't help the customer, we don't have a business. Well, another part that I didn't talk about in terms of changes is that building code and fire code is always evolving. It's always getting more strict. So every couple of years, the building the fire code, they update. California is forgive the analogy, but ground zero for, or maybe the epicenter, right, is the better terminology for stringent codes getting implemented quickly. So when we talk about International Building Code, International Fire Code, NFPA, California Building Code, California Fire Code, we're kind of the standard by which the rest of the nation adopts in a latter years. And so what that means is that because we're high seismic here, builders have to build buildings differently. And so we weigh in on those development projects often. We have to build systems. We have to build rack structures. We have to build mezzanines. We have to build anything that we touch has to be built differently here because we're in California. And so we have to pay attention to California Fire Code, NFPA, in ways that the rest of the country really doesn't, or gets to defer to a later point in their life cycle. So we have to know a lot more. We're really year on. The challenges are clear, right? And so when we ask the question, why is it, or what is a business challenged with when operating in California, it's a microscopic look at the operation, at the commodities, the building, at the slab, at the sprinkler system, at exit doors, at exit lighting, at ADA access issues, at photometrics, that aren't necessarily looked at in other parts of the country. It's not that they're not in the code, it's just that they're not scrutinized to the same level of detail that they are here in California. So if those are the challenges, you need experts that can help solve them. And so we have to be experts specifically in fire code. That's really the biggest one. where we have to really understand commodity classifications. We have to understand MAQs and hazmat. We have to understand sprinkler protection and criteria by which we need to protect the commodities with. We have to understand clear heights and top of storage and exit doors and all, the list goes on and on, right? And one mistake in those fields of expertise could disqualify a building, or could allow a broker or a business operator to choose the wrong building and then have to upgrade it significantly, or just simply not be able to do with it what he needs to do in order to maximize the cubic capacity of the building and make it work for his business. So the challenges are pretty clear, and that is that we have to fit what you want to do as a business operator into what will the codes and what will the state allow you to do with the building that you want to do it in. I have to dance with all three of those partners, and we are the glue that brings everybody together that says, okay, business wants to do this, code allows for this, therefore city, we're going to do this, and we're entitled to do it because we see the entire picture. So having folks that are versed in all of those arenas has been a critical component of our success. Having Scott, who's a high cloud storage analyst and engineer, is absolutely critical. Having Drake, who understands holistically how these projects need to look from fire, electrical, building, ADA perspectives, is absolutely critical. Having Kim understand how to process all that with the cities and then communicate that back to the client in a way that they can understand a complex issue that they've never had to navigate before and don't feel like they should have to be navigating, in a way that is helpful for them to understand and helps them navigate it for their so that their operation can be up and running as quickly as possible.